digitally wise children, equipping your child to think, choose, and thrive in screen-heavy culture. My name is Ayolu Adedeji. I am the founder and the lead consultant at the Mother Family Focus. Hello, intentional parents, and welcome to the Parenting Talk Show with Coach Ayolua. And today we have another conversation around the use of digital devices in our homes. Last week we talked about raising digitally wise children, how to set healthy boundaries around the use of digital devices at home. And today we are taking the digital conversation a step further. So welcome to today's show. Welcome, and I'm sure you are ready for what is about to happen here today on this show, because I am ready. As always, I am ready. And whenever you see me on your screen, just know that I just want to encourage you to parent with intention. I am the founder and the lead consultant at the Mother Family Focus. And if you are joining me for the first time, what we do at the Mother Family Focus is that we teach parents how to parent. Yes, we teach parents how to parent. We equip parents with skills, strategies, and tools that they need to raise well-rounded children in this world full of distractions and lack of identity. So we equip parents with tools, with strategies, with knowledge that they need to raise balanced children without compromising discipline and without compromising honor. And here today also we're having another wonderful time in this show. So last time, as I said, we talked about setting digital boundaries, how to set healthy digital boundaries around digital devices in the home. And today we are going to talk about how to equip your children to be able to think, to choose, and to thrive in a screen-heavy culture. You and I know that we are in the era of screen. You turn to the right screen, to the left screen, front, back screen, digital devices everywhere. We are surrounded with technology. Probably you are able to see me because you're on screen. Yes, you are able to hear me now because you are on screen. So we really need to be intentional about discussing the use of digital devices in our home, because it's one thing to manage screen time. It's another thing to raise children who can manage it themselves. I said it's one thing to manage screen time, but it's another thing to be able to raise children who can manage screen effectively, productively by themselves, when no one is even watching, when no one is there to control them. So the goal here is digital wisdom. Digital wisdom. Digital wisdom. We cannot monitor every moment of our children. Of course, we can't. We can't be there with them every time they have to go to school. As parents, you can't follow your children everywhere they go to. But we can monitor every decision. Sorry, we can mentor, not monitor. We can mentor every decision they take. So we need to teach our children not just how to use technology, but how to use it wisely, thoughtfully, and purposefully. And like I said last week, that whenever I'm talking about devices, I'll be using it interchangeably with phones, with laptops, with TVs, with social media and all that. So whenever you hear me say digital devices or screen, just know that those are the things that I mean. So we need to let our children be able to use screen purposefully, productively, not just anyhow. So this conversation is just important for us to have. Thank you once again for joining me. So before we move on, let's look at what does digital wisdom actually mean. What is digital wisdom? So let's define it. Digital wisdom means thinking before clicking. I'm going to put it in the simplest form that I can, so that we can all flow along. Thinking before clicking. Thinking before clicking. And at the end of this session, I'm sure you're likely to be able to sit back and see if actually you, the parents, you have digital wisdom. Usually, when I talk about digital devices, when I teach parents about the use of digital devices, most of them think, oh, it's about our children. Oh, she wants to teach us how to, how we can teach our children to handle devices properly. Yes. But handling devices, digital devices, wisely, purposefully by children begins from us, the parents. Yes, it starts from us. Remember, I always say this, that in parenting, modeling is huge. Modeling is not just a tool, it is the main tool. Modeling is the main tool. I have said it before and I will continue to say, because that is the fact, that is the truth. The attitude, the character, the behavior that we want to see in our children, if we can model it, job is done as parents. We won't have to struggle with our children. We won't really have to struggle, because by default, they are going to learn those attitudes from us. So, at the end of this session, you will sit back and think. You will sit back and think to be sure whether you as a parent, you lack digital wisdom or you have digital wisdom. So I said digital wisdom is thinking before clicking, knowing when to unplug, understanding how technology shapes emotion, thoughts, and identity, choosing content that builds, not breaks. I brought out 4 points while trying to define what digital wisdom means. I said thinking before clicking, knowing when to unplug, understanding how technology shapes emotions, thoughts, and identity, choosing content that builds, not breaks. Now, last week, I said something and I made a post about it. I said, screens are not neutral. They are not. They shape how our children feel. They shape how they think, and they shape how they feel. Screens are not neutral. Not at all. If you think my child is just watching TV and that's all, without screening what exactly your children are consuming on the TV, you are wrong. Screens are not neutral. They are not neutral. Screens are unconsciously parenting your children with you, in case you do not know. So this is why you have to be intentional about what your children feed themselves with on the screen. I said digital wisdom is thinking before clicking, knowing when to unplug, understanding how technology shapes emotions, thoughts, and identity, choosing content that builds, not breaks. Are you sure, you the parents that are watching me, are you sure you have digital wisdom? Do you know when to unplug? Do you think before clicking? Do you understand how digital devices, how technology shape emotions, thoughts, and identity? Do you? Do you choose content that builds, or you are the parent who will just scroll and click on every video, every content, everything you see on your screen? Are you such parents? Or if you are, maybe you lack digital wisdom. And if you lack digital wisdom, chances are that your children will also learn digital wisdom, because they will definitely learn that from you. So most children are tech literate, but few are tech wise. Take note of this. Most children are tech literate. They actually know how to use technology, but only few are tech wise. That is, only few has digital wisdom. Most children, even toddlers, if you give toddler a phone, most toddler will probably operate the phone perfectly. That means they are tech literate. But only few are tech wise. And that is the essence of today's class. Tech wise. We need to be conscious to raise tech wise children, not just tech literate children. Not just tech literate children. Even as adults, you must be sure that you are tech wise, not just tech literate. All right. So digital wisdom is not about fear. No. It's about formation. Formation. Digital wisdom is not about fear. It's not about you being afraid. Surrounding your children with fear. Don't watch this. You must not do this. You must not do that. No. It's not about fear. It's about formation. Forming your children through what they are exposed to on the screen. So what we are teaching is not just how to avoid danger. I'm not just teaching you how to avoid danger. Whether you are a digitally conscious parent or not, somehow, sometimes, somewheres, your children will actually encounter some things on the screen. Yes, they will encounter some things that they don't need on the screen. So the goal, what I'm teaching, is not just to avoid dangers, but how to evaluate what they see. When they see what they see, and how they will be able to know that this is not what I need to see. Remember, I said it earlier that digital wisdom means knowing when to unplug, thinking before clicking. So what I'm teaching is not just about avoiding dangers. It's about evaluating what our children see, setting internal limits. I'm coming there. Internal limits. Living beyond the screen. Living beyond the screen. So in essence, what I'm teaching you today is not just about how to avoid danger. Like I said last week, I've seen parents who thought that the best way to guide their children's use of screen is to take them away from screen. And believe me, if you are doing that, you are doing disservice to your children. Yes, because your children actually need screen to thrive in this generation. There are schools that don't use pen and paper to write as at this time. They use digital devices, they use notepad, they use laptop and all that. So if you shield your children from screen just because you want to protect your children from danger, and your children become tech illiterate, when they meet with this kind of children, they won't be able to compete with them. They won't be able to stand with them. So you actually need to expose your children to screen, because everything we do to technology in this context, to technology, because you probably need technology in everything. We use technology daily. Technology has become part of our day-to-day activities. So it's not about taking your children away from screen. Those children that their parents took them away from screen, their parents did not want them on social media, their parents, even seized phone from them. But somehow, these children found their way into the social media. It's not about creating fear. It's not. These children don't have phones, but they have social media accounts that they operate from time to time, unknown to their parents. So taking your children totally away, shielding them from screen is not the solution. It's about formation, like I said earlier. It's not about fear. It's about formation. So what I'm teaching you today is not just how to avoid dangers, but how to evaluate what your children see, how to equip your children to evaluate what they see, to set internal limits, and to live beyond the screen. You see the internal limits that I mentioned. The importance of being able to set internal limits cannot be overemphasized. It is the internal limits that will make your children to be able to evaluate what they see. It is the internal limits that will equip them to be able to think before they click. It is that internal limit that will help them to know when to unplug, when they see what they are not supposed to see. So, let's move on. I like to share the 3 pillars of digital wisdom with you. I told you that the goal of this session is digital wisdom. Digital wisdom. Equipping yourself as parents with digital wisdom. Equipping your children with digital wisdom. Digital wisdom. 3 pillars of digital wisdom. Let me quickly walk you through the 3 essential pillars of digital wisdom. Number 1 is discernment. 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 You need to teach your children to ask themselves, is it good for my mind? What I'm seeing, is it good for my mind? Is it good for my mood? Is it good for my mission? Is it good for my, does it align with my vision, our family vision, our family values? I have been saying this. If you are watching me and you don't have your family system installed, you are wrong. You are very, very, very wrong. See, family system installation is what is the first step to getting your children to behave well. All these, my children tell lies. My children is doing this, are doing this. My children are doing that. My child is this. My child is that. The first step to getting your child to behave well, to manage your children's behavior, is to get your family system installed. Family system installation will give your children a sense of identity. See, when a child loses his or her identity, that child has lost everything. When a child loses his or her identity, that child has lost everything. I mean, when a child loses his or her identity, that child has lost everything. Everything. When a family do not equip the family members with the family vision, their family vision, their family values, their family mission, what it means is that they have failed to give the family members sense of identity. Invariably, that family will fall for anything. What that means is that that family stands for nothing and they will fall for anything. So if you haven't got your family system installed, please contact us at the Model Family Focus. We will guide you to get your family system installed so that your family will be well equipped. Every member of the family will be well equipped to raise well-rounded family members. So I said the first pillar of digital wisdom is discernment. Being able to question, to ask what I am exposed to, what I'm watching, what I'm doing on screen, on social media, on my phone, on my laptop. Is it good for my mind? Is it good for my mood? Is it good for my mission? Is it good for my family vision? Is this what we stand for? Does it align with what we stand for as a family? You need to teach your children to be able to recognize harmful content, ads, online peer pressure, and misinformation. You need to be conscious. You need to consciously teach your children how to guide themselves from harmful content, harmful ads. You know, most of the ads that we see, especially when ladies are the model, they are the ambassador, almost all the products, you see ladies half dressed, half naked, breast out, bump, enlarged, have, all that, exposing the private part of the body. Your children need to know that it is not safe for them. It's more than what you think. It's not just a picture, it's feeding them. It's feeding your children. Online peer pressure. Some children fell into depression due to online pressure. By the way, if your child is below 18 years old, your child has no business on social media. I mean, if your child is below 18 years old, your child has no business on social media. Yes, your child shouldn't even have exclusive access to digital devices. This is not for everyone. Yes, but that is the truth. So you need to teach your children to identify misinformation. There are lots of misinformation on social media. There are lots of misinformation. Your children should be able to discern. They need to learn how to have regular checking. You as parents have regular checking conversation with them. What did you see online today? What's the new thing that you are exposed to? What new thing did you learn today? Even away from social media, I ask that question frequently. When we are coming back from school, those are the questions that we ask. What new thing did you learn today? What new thing did you see today? How did you feel about what you see? These are things that you need to consciously teach your children around the use of digital devices. Number 2 is boundaries. Boundaries. Internal boundaries are stronger than external ones. I said it earlier, internal limits. Internal boundaries are stronger than external ones. Being able to equip your children to have these internal limits, internal boundaries, knowing by themselves that, no, I shouldn't watch this. I shouldn't spend time on this. I shouldn't do this. Is stronger than you telling them, don't do this, don't do that. You know why? If you set external boundaries, if you stop there at setting external boundaries, it's fine. But if you stop there, what it means is that when you are no longer there, they will push that boundary. When you are no longer available, they will push that boundary. That's why some parents will say, anytime I'm around, that's when my children behave well. When I'm not there, my children do what they like. They go against my rules and all that. It is because you have not been able to equip that child, those children, to have internal boundaries, internal limits. Internal limits is important. It's stronger than the external ones because it will keep them going. If you are able to help your children, to keep your children to set internal limits, even when you are not there, that internal limit will keep them going. What they wouldn't do in your presence, they will not do it. There was a video that went viral, I think last week, about a lady. Some said it's skit, some said it's real. I don't know, but I'm talking based on what I see, what I heard. That a lady called her parents, that someone wants to take her to another country or something, promise to fix her nails, to buy things for her, to give her, luxuries and all that. And the child called the parent to ask whether she should go or she should not go. And my response to this is that what I can see from this is that that child lacks affirmation. That child lacks identity. That child lacks that family, the family from where that lady has come from, lack vision, values. Some said, for the child to be able to call the parent to seek for permission, it means that she has good relationship. It means that the parent is she's open. The parents, they have cordial relationship. Having cordial relationship is not enough. Having good relationship with your children could also mean being permissive. It will also mean that, yes. So a child who has been affirmed, a child who has been equipped to set internal limits, do not need to take permission. In such instance, do not need to take permission before deciding. That's where I'm going to. So that lady in that video, what it means to me is that that lady lacks internal boundaries, internal limits. That lady has not been taught, has not been equipped to set internal boundaries. If she had learnt that, what she would have done is just to call the parents to inform them that, mommy, daddy, can you imagine this? Someone said this to me. Can you imagine? Of course I said no. The lady should have reported, not taking permission. So why am I saying this? Essence of equipping children with internal limits. Equipping children with the ability to set internal boundaries. Like I said earlier, internal boundaries are stronger than external ones. So don't stop at setting external boundaries for your children. Don't stop at that. That's just the first step. Don't stop at that. You need to equip them to be able to set internal boundaries, to be able to set internal limits. So when you are not there, you have given them skills to make better choices. Choices that align with your family values and family goals. Let's move on. So I'm talking about the pillar 2. We are on the 3 pillars of tech wisdom. So boundaries. I said internal boundaries are stronger. I've explained that. Then help them to learn to pause and choose. Teach your children to learn how to pause and choose, not just react. You see, the power of pause can save life. Yes, the power of pause. Pause and choose. Pause before you react. It can save life. It can save life. Because if you are able to pause before you react, especially in a tense situation, if you are able to pause, you won't take the decision that you would have taken if you refuse to pause. If you are able to pause before you react, you are likely not to take decisions that will end up in regret. Let me say that again. I said, if you are able to pause before you react, especially in a tense situation, you are likely not to take decisions that will end up in regret. The same thing is applicable to our children. If we are able to equip them with the skills and ability they need to pause before they react, they are likely not to take decisions that will consume them. By the way, if you are able to pause, you won't even react, you will act. Yes, because there is a difference between reacting and acting. So, examples are no phone during meals or devotion. 1 hour, I'm giving examples of boundaries. No screen during mealtime. I talked about digital Sabbath last week. Devices curfew by 9 p.m. That is, by 9 p.m. No one is permitted to be on screen, whether TV or phone or laptop and all that. And I shared here last week that even in our home, anytime from 5 p.m., our children are not permitted to be on screen, except on rare situations. Except on rare situations, whether maybe they need to do home to do their own fun, or they need to on rare cases. On rare cases, by 5 p.m., no TV is on, no access to phone, no game, no laptop. That is boundaries, setting boundaries. Then the third pillar is balance. Balance. You need to balance tech with other things. You can't say you want your children to use screen purposefully, intentionally, productively, and you fail to balance. They will misuse it. They will misuse it. So you need to balance tech with nature, with books, with interactions, physical activities, strolling out, playing games together. There should be something outside screen. You need to create activities that can engage your children outside digital devices. You need to encourage digital rest days that I call digital Sabbath. I think I talked about this 2 weeks ago. Yes, digital Sabbath. It could be on Sunday, it could be on Friday, it could be on Saturday. A time and a day where every member of the family is expected to do away with their screen. Just physical interaction. This is very important. It's very important. Digital Sabbath. Practice Sabbath for screen, a time to reset mind. Sometimes we just put our phone down, TV off, screen away. We are just relating as family. We are just interacting. Relational activities that builds bonds. That builds bonds. So I have shared 3 pillars of digital wisdom. The first one is discernment. The second one is boundary. And the third one is balance. If you have not put anyone in place, please do well to do so after this session. Do well to do so after this session. Teach your child that their devices are tools, not a master. Devices, excuse me, devices are tools, not master. If devices becomes master to your children, there's a problem. So you need to teach your children that their devices are tools. They have control over their devices. Their devices should not have control over them. When your child stays on screen endlessly and could not stop, that means your child has become tool in the hand of the device. In the hand of the device. So you need to let your children know that their digital devices are just tools in their hands. They are not their masters. So what are the practical tools to cultivate digital wisdom? The goal of today's session is equipping you and your children with digital wisdom. So what are the practical tools that you need to cultivate digital wisdom? So here are practical ways to instill digital wisdom. The first one that I will share with you is the pause rule. Pause before clicking. Remember, I defined digital wisdom as being able to think before clicking. Being able to think before clicking. You see an image of a woman who is half dressed, half naked. Digital wisdom requires that you think, do I need to watch this? What do I need to learn from this? That's digital wisdom before you click. And if you are able to do that, you are likely not to to click that image, because probably the image will feed your mind, especially your children's mind, with wrong information. So the pause rule: teach your child to ask, why am I doing this? What will it lead to? We have consciously taught our children, even outside screen, when you see someone who is half naked, whether a man or a woman, you don't watch. You may have no control over first sight. The first time you see, yes, it's likely you don't have control. But after the first sight, you take your eyes, take your mind away. That is not for you. That will just fill your mind, your thought, with negative, messages. So you need to teach your children the pause rule. Teach them to be able to ask, do I need this? What will this lead to? Why am I doing this? What do I need this for? The pause rule is important. The second tool is co-view and co-play. Co-view and co-play. What do I mean by this? Don't just supervise your children's screen. No, don't just monitor them. Stay with them. Sometimes I'm just with phone with our children or my husband, and we are just watching the screen together. Sometimes you just sit with them to watch TV, even when I'm not interested. I'm not the TV type. I'm not the movie type. So, but because I want to get involved with our children, I sit with them and we watch together. So don't just supervise, engage. It fosters trust. Watch YouTube, watch educative content on YouTube with them, play their favorite game together, use moment to teach values. Don't just say, don't watch this, and you are gone. You are busy with doing your own thing. No. Once in a while, stay with them, co-view with them. They are playing game, watch them play the game. They are watching songs or they are watching documentaries. Just watch with them. There's a documentary that our children normally watch, Oversimplified. Sometimes I just sit with them, even when I don't understand what they are doing there. I just would still sit with them just to get myself involved in what they are doing. So the third one is value-based tech contract. Excuse me. Value-based tech contract. Value-based tech contract. Create a digital wisdom agreement together. And I'm going to talk about digital master plan here again. If you are watching me, excuse me. If you are watching me and you don't have your family digital master plan in place, you are wrong again. I have helped you. I have created a digital master plan guide that will help you to set healthy boundaries around the use of digital devices in your home. It's available on Seller. You can get your own copy. This guide, I designed it in a way that it involves everything that you need, every rules, every boundaries that you need to put in place in setting your digital boundaries as a family. I have put it in the guide. So you need to get your copy if you haven't. So you need to create a digital wisdom agreement together. You need to involve your children. I said this last week that when you're making rules, when you're setting boundaries, involve your children. If you don't involve them, your rules, your boundaries will be dead on arrival. When we were creating our family digital master plan, we sat together with our children. All the consequences, all the rules, everything, we did it together. We agreed. In fact, some of the consequences, they picked by themselves. So when they go When they push the boundaries, when they go against the rules, they know what to expect. They know what to expect. So create digital wisdom agreements. There's a session for that in the digital master plan guide. What we will watch, I think the first class on digital series, I talked about 3 tech bucket rule. These are rules that you need to put in place. If you miss that session, it's available on my YouTube channel. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you are missing the big lesson. I have over 45 videos there, all on parenting. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you won't miss out. So if you miss that session, please go and watch it on my YouTube channel. You will understand what I mean by the 3 tech bucket rule. These are tools that you can use in your home to help your children to use digital devices responsibly. So teach your children how to treat others online. There's also a session in the digital master plan guide that I created. We as a family, one of our rules regarding this aspect is that someone that you won't talk to, disrespectfully, physically, you shouldn't say because you are chatting with the person, you are communicating with the person on social media or something, and you'll be rude. No, that's not allowed. I see some things on social media. Someone that is so, a younger person talking to adults because they are on social media rudely, chatting and abbreviating thanks, yeah, and all that to adults. No, for us, it's part of our family digital master plan. It's not allowed. No, whether you are online or you are offline, you talk to people respectfully. So that's part of the things that you will have in your digital master plan as a family, in your digital wisdom agreement. You will also have, when you will disconnect in your agreement, you need to let your children know that this is when I need to disconnect. Number 4, I'm talking about practical tools to instill digital wisdom in your children. Number 4 is anchor in identity. This still takes us back to family system installation. Your family values, your family vision, your family mission, your perceptual code as a family, what you stand for, what you should be known for. So having your your family system installation, like I said earlier, we give every member of the family a sense of identity. A sense of identity, knowing who they are. Knowing who they are. If your child at this point doesn't know who he or she is, you are wrong. You are wrong. So remind your child that you are not likes, you are not your followers, you are deeply valued offline. You are important offline. I remember part of our family digital master plan that digital lifestyle is not our standard. I'm telling you, part of our family digital master plan. Yes. Digital lifestyle, social media lifestyle is not our standard. It's not our standard. You don't see your mate posting with a Ferrari, spraying money and all that, using big phones, and you are feeling less of yourself. No, that is not our standard. We are valued offline. We are important offline. We embrace who we are. We embrace our journey. Yes. So you need to anchor your children in identity. And number 5 is use tech to build purpose. Using technology to build purpose. To build purpose. Encourage apps and content that grows your children's skill. Your children's skill. For those of you that will just keep your children in front of screen, like I said last week when I was talking about why setting boundaries becomes battle between parents and children. One of the reasons that I talked about last week was that when you use a screen as pacifier, when your child is young, you have things to do, you want to be in the kitchen, you want to do this, and you just watch TV, you're on TV for your children, put cartoon, and your children sit in front of TV from morning till night. You are using screen to pacify them. You give them phone. Oh, yeah, go and watch, go and watch, go and watch, so that you can have time for yourself. You are using screen as pacifier. When the time comes, and you want to set healthy boundaries, it will definitely become war. Because by that time, your children will have gotten so used, so attached to the screen. Remember, I said it last week, if you are on live session with me last week, that screen releases dopamine. That's a chemical in the body system. And it makes it, when this chemical is released in in large quantity, it makes screen addictive. It makes it addictive. So your child will not be able to stop. So if you are using screen as pacifier for your children, when you want to set healthy boundary, you will find it difficult to achieve that. So you need to teach your children to use screen on purpose. On purpose. The 3 tech bucket rule for screen that I created, I created the use of digital devices for 3 purposes. That's why I call it the 3 tech bucket rule. The first one is for educational purposes. The second one is for recreational purposes. And the third one is for relational purposes. Relating with family members, relating with friends in a responsible manner. In a responsible manner. So as a family, you need to install this, these 3 tech bucket rule is very important. So encourage apps and content that grows their skills, not just anything. Not just anything, not just any app, no. Not just any movie, not just any music, no. We don't watch as simple as music is. We don't watch music anyhow here. Even the so-called Christian songs, we screen them. Yes, because screens are not neutral. They are shaping how our children feel. They are shaping how they see themselves. They are shaping how they feel. They are shaping how they think. So we need to be very, very intentional. So you need to expose them to apps and content that grows their skill, drawing, coding, learning, faith building, podcast, and all that. Don't just limit screen time. Fill it with meaning. Fill it with meaning. Don't just limit screen time. Fill it with meaning. Whenever your children have to be on screen, let them know that they are there to do something meaningful, to learn something meaningful, not just to be on screen. The last segment I want to talk about is modeling digital wisdom as parents. This is where it concerns you. Modeling digital wisdom as parents. Remember, I told you that if you lack digital wisdom, you are probably going to raise children who lack digital wisdom. So digital wisdom begins from you and I. It begins from us. So we can teach our children. We can't teach our children what we don't practice. You can't give what you don't have. Definitely. You cannot give what you don't have. Our children are watching us. They are watching every step we take, every move we make. They are learning. They may not talk, but they are learning. They are learning. And that is why our children, we do what we do more than what we ask them to do. Yes, children, we do what we do more than what we ask them to do, because they are learning from us. So we can't teach what we don't practice. You need to reflect on your own habits, on your own digital habits, on your own screen habits. How are you handling devices? How are you using digital devices? Are you using them responsibly? Are you using them responsibly? Remember that your children are watching. They are watching you closely, and they are learning from us faster and deeper than we can think of. So let your children see you put the phone down for prayer or for journaling. Let them see you put down your phone to do something meaningful. Let them see you reading instead of scrolling all the time on phone. Let them see you reading. Let them see you taking break from screen. I shared this about 2 weeks ago. Sometimes ago, when our daughter said, "Mommy, why do you love your phone more than us?" Hey, I had to sit her down and I explained to her, "No, that's not true. I'm sorry if I've made you feel that way. But I work on screen, because most of the time it's that I'm on laptop or I'm on screen, I'm in a meeting, I'm in a training and all that. So I had to check myself, put myself, in check with how I use screen. So I had to consciously schedule my time so that there will be time that my children will see me that I'm away from screen. And when I'm on screen, they know that I'm doing something meaningful, not just that I'm having endless scroll. So you need to model digital wisdom as a parent for your children to also have digital wisdom. Digital discipleship starts with the example we set. Digital discipleship starts with the example we set. If you use digital devices carelessly, trust me, your children will do the same. If you use digital devices responsibly, trust me, your children will follow suit. So you need to model digital wisdom, because digital discipleship starts with the example you and I set. So here is one truth that I need you to leave this session with. Tech is not going away. Technology has come to stay, and it will stay forever. Yes, but we need to raise children who know how to pause, who know how to choose, who know how to live purpose online and offline. We need to raise children who know how to pause, who know how to think, and who know how to live purpose online and offline. Remember, I said it earlier that digital wisdom is not about fear, but it's about formation. It's about equipping your children to set internal boundaries, to set internal limits. So you need to go home today and ask your child, what is one thing that we could change about how we use screen this week? If you don't have your digital family digital master plan, please get your family digital master plan guide that I have created for you and your family. It will save your life. It will save your children. It will help you to instill everything that I've taught you today. Create a plan. Start small. Create that plan. Yes, you can't achieve that at once, but start gradually. We have started preparing our children for their exposure on social media. By now, our children knew that they are not going to be on social media until they are age 18. They know we are starting now. So you need to start. Start from where you are. If you are confused, I don't know what to do, I don't know exactly how to instill to implement everything that Coach Ayolu has said, please contact us at the Model Family Focus. We'll guide you. That's why we are there for you. We'll guide you. We'll walk you through that journey. Start where you are. Create a plan. Start small and be consistent. Consistent does the magic. In parenting, consistency is huge. Consistency is huge. So whatever plan you are creating, whatever strategies you are using, you need to be consistent so that it will be effective, so that your children will take you seriously. Let me end with this. Raising digitally wise children is not about control. It is about character. Let me say this again. Raising digitally wise children is not about control. It is about character. Until next time, keep parenting with intention.